Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. In this video, it's part 2 of 2 for Tuesday, and we are going to be looking at William rather than his brother. So we'll be right back. All right, you tarot maniacs and you royal family maniacs, we are going to be talking about William in this video. So if this is your first time for 2 for Tuesday, what I do is I do 2 videos on Tuesday with similar people. So it could be like Brad and Angelina during the divorce. It could be Elon Musk versus everyone in the world. Could be Donald Trump versus Elon Musk. Could be any of those things. So if you guys want to see some paired videos, comment down below. I will totally take I take requests. It is Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Happy spring ahead day. It is March 9th. I am in the New York time zone. So let's take a look at William. So we are really, everyone is doing reviews and reactions to the Meghan Markle series. I know we got a second season, just what we all wanted, right? So we're looking at others' reactions to her. Everyone is doing their own reaction videos. Listen, I watched the first one. I did not watch the second one. I may watch it a little bit later on today. I'm going to be making some vegetarian chili, and I'm also going to make some French garlic soup. So I may do a short on that so you guys can see my cooking skills. I'm an excellent cook. I don't care if I honk my own horn on that. I know I'm a really good cook. So my grandmother taught me. She was Italian. So let's take a look at how William is feeling about all the kerfuffle around the Meghan Markle show. So as always, please like, share, and subscribe, and take advantage of some of my March sales. You can get a magical reading just like this for yourself. I have a number of sales going on right now, including a flash sale over the 15th, 16th, and 17th of March. You get a really great rate, but even better, I have a $25 one question reading. You just send it in. I'll either send you a video, a text message, whatever you prefer. I also do WhatsApp. So let me know if you have a single question. I'm more than happy to do that. You get a pretty robust reading with it. I think people that have gotten the $25 reading, just a real quick question, have been really happy with it. So I've got a couple of lives this week scheduled. So keep an eye out. Let's get reading on William. This is way longer than I wanted to talk. And there we go. We're going to bring that up. And I'm going to leave my face up because with the new settings on StreamYard, I keep making mistakes with it. So I'm not going to make myself disappear. So first question, how does William feel about this Meghan show? How does he feel about it? We're going to continue to work with the Llewellyn Classic Tarot. My voice is getting better, but still a little rough. How does he feel about that? Oh, he's like, this is not a good look. But she's married to it. She is married to this. William. So William says this is not going to find purchase. So it's just not going to really stick. I think the lack of money-making ability here, people aren't going to be buying from her range. They're not going to be buying from her website. No one needs dried flowers. Oh, fun fact, I also found out if you have allergies, you should not eat dried flowers because they could cause an allergy attack in a intensified kind of way, because you are when you dehydrate flowers, you're condensing all of the allergens and pollen and whatnot that may be in them. So you're condensing that down. So you could actually have a really, really bad allergy attack. If you have asthma or anything like that, I would be very cautious. So and you know, I'm a garnish queen. I love garnish. I love a little sprig of something on my steak. If it's rosemary, if it's parsley, you know, making things look nice, chopped chives over your mashed potatoes or baked potatoes is always lovely. That little green gives it a little pop. My absolute favorite, because my husband's half Japanese, I love green onions. And I love them when they're in season. You use the green onions, you throw that on top of an omelet. It really does brighten up the flavor. It does bring out some other flavors. But not everybody wants to put something so superfluous as these flowers. They don't add any flavor. They just add visual interest and I guess some texture. But you could get a better result with like some roasted chopped nuts, maybe some, crisped up shallots. That's one of my favorites. I love crispy shallots. So anyway, William agrees with me that this is just not going to stick. She's not going to do it. And she's married to it. This is her legacy now. Try, fail, try, fail, try hard, fail harder. That is the legacy. So William is very curious. You can see up top at that 4 of Cups what she is about to do next. What possibly can they have left? It seems as though no modicum of success is good enough for her unless it's billions of dollars. And that's really the goal here, to have a life of leisure, a very luxurious, indulgent kind of life. This is not something that they started out saying. So William says, "Well, what is the next thing for them?" I don't think he's bothered or perturbed by this. I think he's just like, well, "What else are they going to do?" Like it's almost a level of exasperation. In the meantime, here he remains the seat of power. He knows in his heart of hearts that he is going to be the next monarch. I mean, we all do. We're all aware of that. Even though I have made predictions that the monarchy is going to look very, very different in the future. So I will do a reading on that based on the energy that's in play right now. King Charles' reign seems very transitory. It does not feel like it's going to, and I hate to say this, I don't feel like it's going to have any consequence that is positive or progressive or forward moving in redefining the royal family. There's a will to redefine the royal family, but the action is not happening because he is so rooted in the old ways of doing things. So I like King Charles. I'm not causing a kerfuffle here. The 5 of Wands, this is the suitcase position. This is stand down, William. Stand down. We know that he has a little bit of a fiery temper from some of the anecdotal comments about him. So Jason Knopf did not say that. Jason Knopf had some very nice things to say about him. But we have heard anecdotal stories about how he does have a flary kind of temper. So here, this is stand down. Take this energy. You don't have to do a thing, Wills. Just hang out. Hang out. It's going to undo itself. Under the surface here, he really is curious about what they have left up their sleeve, or what Meghan specifically has left up her sleeve. And what else can they try? What else can they try? That's really how he's looking at it. So, little shuffle here, guys. Little shuffle. So, how does he see himself? He sees himself as someone who's not starting. He's not going to be starting something. Not going to be starting something. Where are my Jackson fans out there? Michael Jackson. How does he see them? Be happy at home. Be happy. If this is your wheelhouse, Meghan, if this is where you want to live, if this is where you want to reside, stay there, do that, go with God, be happy. This indicates a certain level of happiness toward them doing something. Hopes and fears. And the outcome is that 8 of Swords. Hopes and fears is that Page of Cups in reverse. I think this is the dawning of Harry's discomfort in the relationship. And I think this is something that William really wants him to see and recognize, that this is not a productive relationship that's going to advance his visibility in a positive fashion. It's been very, very negative. And I think William really wants him to see that people don't really like him, Harry specifically, or don't really like Meghan too. But the outcome, unfortunately, is I think that we're still locked in this set of circumstances. So, with that Eight of Swords, remember the Eight of Swords, that lady can walk right out of that problem. She can pick up her feet, she can drop her binds, she can pull off that blindfold, and she can walk right out of it. So, does William have any plans in regard to Harry? Does he have any plans? Does he have any plans? Those of you that have been following me for some time, hi to all my new subscribers. I said when the late Her Majesty, the late Queen Elizabeth, was still alive, I always said that she had a plan B for Harry. She did not look happy at that wedding. And I've always said that she has a plan B, or she had a plan B, that was to let Harry spend all of the money that they gave him. And I think that was part of the reason why they tried. I'm going to bring my face up so you guys get a little rest on your eyes. So I think that was part of the reason why they weren't giving him oodles and oodles of money and allowing him to, just purchase a house in wherever with their money. I do think that King Charles has given him an allowance, and I think it's out of his own money. Everyone argues this with me, but I do think that King Charles gave him an allowance to sustain him. He didn't have any kind of income or anything like that. So in order to purchase that house, I do think that they needed a cosigner. I do think that they needed some kind of money. And I just don't think that there was there. I think that King Charles has been paying the electric bill, paying those cell phone bills and all of that stuff. So does William have some manner of plan B that Queen Elizabeth put in place? I do think that King Charles didn't want that to happen. He can't fathom being destitute. King Charles can't. So why would he impose that on his son, even if his son is like running away from home at 40 years old? So I do think that the plan B was to let Harry spend all of his money, let the marriage unravel. When he comes back to them and says, Grandma, hey, I need some help, she goes, fantastic. We're going to get you out of there. You're bankrupt. You have no money to pay out to her. But unfortunately, I do think that Harry has spent, and I shouldn't say spent, but invested any of his inheritance into their life together. So I think it's invested in businesses because, he's in love. They're going to be together forever. So I do think that a good portion of his inheritance is now commingled funds, which makes it part of community property in California, unfortunately. So does William have any kind of plan B for Harry? Is he going to do any kind of plan B for Harry? I'm going to pull up the card view for you guys. Three of Pentacles. This is reading just like Queen Elizabeth's reading when I did it. So this kind of power over his brother has to be meted out very carefully, and it has to be concealed. Why is that? Because if William has to come to the rescue, Harry is going to bristle at that. Once again, my brother's getting the bigger sausage. He's getting another sausage. Yeah, he's, the chip on Harry's shoulder is so great that even when his brother says, "Hey, let me help you out," his brother smacks his hands away, just like Meghan did with that man at the wedding when she was coming out of the car. So, in order, Harry is the definition of cutting his nose off to spite his face. So here, yes, there is a plan in place, but I think it's a little bit different from what Queen Elizabeth's was. I think Queen Elizabeth's was, let's get him bankrupt and get him out there as unscathed as possible and back to England. I think William is more prepared to have a little bit of a rougher handling of Harry. I don't think that King Charles would have the same kind of plan, but it doesn't look like Harry is going to get his button gear and do the right things as per his family. So here, I think the idea would be to shackle Harry. William would shackle Harry, not give him any money. Really, and I hate to say, like a Catherine of Aragon situation. So those of you that know Henry VIII, Catherine of Aragon was his first wife, and he traded her in for Anne Boleyn. At one point, when he decided that he didn't want to be with Catherine of Aragon, she was left destitute, kind of in this limbo period. Her family would not send money to support her because Henry was supposed to support her, and they were angry that he wasn't. And she was kind of destitute. She was like, guys, like, I'm over here, not living so great. It was eventually rectified, but this feels very much the same way. We're going to put you up. There's going to be a roof over your head. There's going to be a fire in the fireplace. We're going to send over some food, but you're not going to have the luxury that you really wanted. This is not Frogmore Cottage anymore, which was so far beneath them. This is not Frogmore Cottage. So, and this would be the kindness that he does to him. And I think he would explain to him, we warned you, we talked to you, we tried to advise you, but you refused to listen. You refused to take all of that information. Tarot readers get thirsty too, guys. Tarot thirsty. So I do think that this would be, this is the best you can hope for now. Does William look at all sides of the equation? No, he is going to hold Harry's feet to the fire on this. He is going to really force him, possibly for the first time in his life, to be responsible for his actions. This isn't going to be, you married a terrible woman, in the words of Donald Trump. She's terrible. That is hilarious. I still think that's so funny that he said that. This isn't going to be, you married somebody who hoodwinked you. We told you, Harry, and you are going to sit in a crazy cottage up in the cold Scottish Highlands. You're going to sit up there until you realize that you had an apartment. What did they have? Apartments in Buckingham Palace. They were refurbishing the apartments in Buckingham Palace, but Harry and Meghan didn't want them because they were next door to William and Kate. After she gushed about their apartment, was it not good enough? Was it not refurbished enough? Are you kidding me? It's Buckingham Palace, for Pete's sake. Bucky P. Come on. I understand Buckingham Palace has a little bit of a different vibe now, and it's more of an institution versus a home. I think they kind of use it as offices. The late Queen, had always considered Windsor her home, so that kind of makes sense. So, yeah. So, my next question was, does he have any empathy for Harry after the show? Does William have any empathy? Did he watch? What was his opinion of his brother after watching that show? Pull, Harry. So I don't think that William is like an esoteric manifestor like you and I. Like, if you're watching this video, you're probably one of us. So I don't think that he's like that. Poor Harry is, how far has he fallen? How little control over his professional life, marriage, relationship, existence does Harry have? That is his response here. Like, I can't believe that he is letting this, I hate to say commoner, run roughshod over his life. Now, if he said that in front of his wife, Catherine, I think she would be like, yeah, I think you're right. But Catherine hasn't put a foot wrong since becoming his girlfriend the first time and the second time. Everyone has embraced her, and she really was given the same. I'm saying it now, and if you disagree, you can talk to me in the comments. I think she was given as much grace as Catherine when she came on the scene. Speaking of Meghan, but I think she came off as very phony. I think she came off as very inauthentic. Again, those of you that are new to my channel, we've seen a lot of subscriber growth over the over 2025. There's a lot of new ones here. Hi guys. My son, his father is from Scotland, Peterhead, Scotland, the Blue Tune to be specific. And there were cultural differences between us, even though we spoke a common language. He came over when he was 21, and there are very, very different cultural expectations between us and his mother. His mother had very different expectations of me. It is a different culture, and you do have to recognize that. And that was one of the things that I said at the first Vanity Fair interview, where she was very pretty on the cover. I thought she was really cute. I said, ooh, there's going to be cultural differences. She needs to do her cultural training there. And I don't think she did. I think she came in and she thought that, England was like New England, really small and quaint and adorable, filled with lots of bed and breakfasts. And I don't think that she did her study on the history of England and the English Empire, the United Kingdom. I don't think she did her homework. So, William, again, not a manifester, but I do think that he is using his spirituality and his faith to pray for his brother to see good sense, to see how little control he has over his life. He is witnessing this. William is witnessing the loss of control of his brother here, and he really wants him to regain control there. Is he hopeful that it will happen? No. He saw a lapdog in that show. So that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. So, what is William's focus right now? What is he focused on? In general, this isn't about Meghan or anything like that. What is he focused on? Two of Wands. He is focused on the future and supporting his father. When I teach tarot, Ace, I teach it. I teach the minor arcana like we're building a house. Ace, we get the idea we're going to build a house. 2, we find our architects. He is looking to the future for his reign. It's very unfortunate. I do think that King Charles has a shorter life expectancy than any of us know. I don't think they're making it public. And I think that William is preparing for his reign. I've said this before. I do think that he's taken on a lot of responsibility as far as the leadership and the assistants governing the country. Reigning, I think, would be the correct term. So I do think that he is working on that. But again, a soft power. He is not asserting his platforms, his vision, anything like that. He is working with his father right now, looking to the future, not flexing any kind of crazy power, but supporting his father. I think that's a good thing. Under the surface here, he is not ready to reign yet. He does not want to do that. Again, 2, we get the architect. 3, we start contracting our contractors. So no, he is not putting together his court. He's got people, but he's not actively doing that. He's just working with the powers that are behind the scenes in that suitcase position. Again, for the new people here, I always read this as not the past, but the suitcase position. So we need to travel into the past and either pack or unpack our suitcase with this kind of energy. And this kind of sneaky looking behind the scenes, doing our research, figuring out what's going on, this kind of thing. I think he's got all the intel and data that he needs on the shady McShadesters in his life. So I think he has put this aside. This is something that he needs. He needs to focus on positive. The Two of Wands is a very positive kind of forward thinking, planning, goal setting kind of, sketching out what the future is going to look like. This is about stop looking at the negative stuff. The negative stuff is going to be there. Just ignore it. Top note. The Fool, fresh new start. I think his focus, again, in the wake of Meghan Markle's, crazy series that we're all looking at, and all of the antics and all of the press. I'm going to tell you guys, like every time I open up something, it's like Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle. So there's puff pieces galore. He is just moving into the future. The Fool is such a positive energy. It's the first card of the major arcana. God, I'm having problems today. And he is going on an adventure. It's a very Bilbo Baggins from the movie. I'm going on an adventure. I love Martin Freeman. He is not looking at the things when the Fool is in the upright. He is not looking at things that will go wrong. He is focused on the things that will go right. Our white dog there is our loyal friends. We are stepping off that cliff without a care in the world. It's not a foolish kind of movement, but it is a brimming with positivity movement. This is enthusiasm and not paying attention to the things that will go wrong. So what's in our immediate future with all this kind of stuff? We have Six of Cups. He is going to bring back that sweet feeling that we had with Her Late Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. That is the return. I think there is an absolute shift of energy having Charles come onto the throne. Is it because we have, this track record with Camilla? Perhaps, but there is definitely a difference between Queen Elizabeth 70, what was it, 70 years on the throne? I think it was 70. And King Charles coming in. He's a very different kind of monarch. People are still excited to see him. People still revere him as the ascendant to the throne, but it's a very different energy. It's not as sweet. Whereas Queen Elizabeth was more like a fun corgi. I'm going to put it that way. He is more like a I don't know. I don't know. He's not like a dog at all. He's not like exciting. And I don't mean any disrespect by describing the late great Queen Elizabeth II as a corgi. I think she would be down with that. So what is William's heart's desire? What is William's heart's desire here? A lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. The thought of ascending presently terrifies him. That doesn't mean that he is not well-versed, skilled, educated, and practiced enough to be king. But it is a transcendent moment that he is terrified about because everything changes. Everything changes for him. The responsibility for George, the responsibilities for him, if his father goes before Camilla, sorting out Camilla, making sure that she is taken care of, making sure that he makes the right moves with her, managing the rest of the family. He's got Andrew. Thank God he's got Anne and he's got Edward. They seem to be fairly good counsel. He does have strong people around him, but he also has some big problems. The problem that is Harry, the problem that is Royal Lodge, the problem that is Andrew, the problem that is Sarah Ferguson. There's a lot of things that he is not quite ready to manage en masse. So this period of time where he has his father's royal court and counselors of state, he is really trying to find that stability in himself. And I don't know if he goes to counseling, but I do think that he does tap into his spirituality, which is very good. He will be the head of the Church of England. We talked about that the other day with King Charles. So in Mixtape Monday, if you haven't seen it, go on back and look at it. It was one of my shorter Mixtape Mondays, but go on back there and check it out. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with my hair. It was a no wash day today. So he is trying to decide where he fits in history, and that is part of this. Trying to figure out what I will represent in 100 years. Do I represent the absolute slash and burn of the royal family? And I have made predictions that I do think it's going to become more of a powerful family and not a monarchy anymore by the time we get to George. I think during William's reign, it becomes very different. I don't think it's something that he does, but I think it's something that he cannot fight. And so he works to make the best of it. And I do think that the Waleses will be very agreeable to this because it does take some pressure off them, and it still affords them an excellent life that they will work toward. But I do think it's going to be very different. And so this question of how I wind up at the end of all of this is really weighing heavily on him. His heart's desire is to figure this out, to not ascend anytime soon. He really doesn't want to go there anytime soon. This Hierophant is seats of power for me. Up here, the 10 of Pentacles is that legacy and moving on to the next phase. We don't want to do that yet. Back here, the Hermit, still so much to discern. Still so much to discern. So let's do his yellow brick road. So our yellow brick road for William, this is my advice to him, what he should do for maximum results. Let's just look at like the next couple of weeks. So he does really need to divorce himself. Oh, look at that. All those lovely sixes. He does need to divorce himself from worrying about his brother. This is the wayward prince who went off to go seek fortune and fame in some foreign kingdom. He needs to not worry about that. That is something that causes him anxiety, and it is not productive. Divorcing himself will preserve his attention for the kingdom. So that, I think, turn a blind eye. Don't watch the show, William. Just don't watch it. Up here, that brings him success, and the Six of Cups keeps coming up. I do think that destiny is going to lead our sweet William into a possible reign that is more like his grandmother. Boy, I got to do something with this hair. It's again, I just got up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you want to see something in the 2 for Tuesday for next week, let me know down below. I absolutely will take some requests. Also, if you have any questions, I may start answering them in shorts if I don't do them on Mixtape Monday. So put your questions in there. Let me know what you think of my super blonde hair. We're going to go even blonder the next time. I think I might be a blonde soon. No, I'm never going to be a blonde. I just can't get blonde. My hairdresser just went, no, you're not going to be a blonde. But stranger things have happened. Thank you for watching. Again, welcome to all the new subs. Hopefully, I'm going to finish up with Invisalign this week, and so you'll actually see what my real teeth look like without the attachments on there. Those of you that are new, I've had Invisalign for going on 5 years now. My teeth just weren't shifting. So heaven help me. All right. I will see you guys in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.